I made a beach towel bag, or it can double as a gym bag in the off season. I love this hobby. I love that it was economical, frugal, fun. And the best part is that it took my mind off of work, life, crazy, because it did require a little bit of concentration on my part. Here's the deal. I sewed a beautiful quilt 20-ish years ago. And I thought that sewing would be like riding a bike. Well, not exactly for me. Machine and I had a little bit of a thing going on where I was trying to figure it out. Thankfully, it came with a little bit of a manual, and I had a delicious drink to go with it. It was an amazing, it wasn't a coffee this time. It was actually just a dirty soda. It was a red raspberry, strawberry deliciousness. Kept me going, kind of in the mood, right, for summer. Here's what I love about this project. If you already have a sewing machine, you could totally make these. You could sell these. It's super fun, super easy to make. And when you know what you're doing, it doesn't take that much time. I ended up doing a practice round just to test it. So it did take me a little bit longer, and trying to figure out the machine took me a little bit longer. But once you have the hang of it, these are easy peasy. What I also love about it is that it was very economical, very frugal. You could use your own towel and washcloth, which I did for my test, and then ended up giving it to the vacuum because I was over it. But I love that I got 2 beach towels for $10 at Walmart. I also saved money on the handles because I just had macrame. So I just ended up braiding the cord. You could totally macrame the cord if you wanted. I ended up having to braid it so it was a little bit thicker in the strap, because if the beach towel bag is pretty big, you want to make sure that you have the straps a little bit thicker so it doesn't cut into your arm. But I ended up saving money. I would say if you got a massive beach towel bag, either make sure you have a lot of macrame or look on Amazon. They have some cords that are really thick that can help. You don't have to do that extra step braiding the handles. What I also loved about this is that, like I said, it took my mind off of work, off of craziness. I did have to focus a little bit more trying to relearn all these different pieces, but it was really therapeutic when the machine was working, the fabric was just moving beautifully. I had fun. I really did. And so I really like that. I also love the colors. I love that I spent a little bit of money getting this beach towel, and I didn't actually do a different color for the pocket, because with the pocket, I ended up just doing just a scrap of fabric because the beach towel was so massive. So I loved it. Here's what I didn't like about the project. Straight lines are not my forte. And the thread that came with the machine, it actually was darker than the fabric, so you could totally tell when I didn't have a straight line. But that's okay, because at the end of the day, I was grateful. It was saving money. I just really focused on trying to do a straight line. But heads up, if you get a fun pattern and the right color thread, it can help hide a lot of mistakes. With the beach towel, beach towels are massive. I ended up cutting this beach towel down, and it still, you can see, was pretty massive. But it's great though. It's going to fit everything I need at the beach. It's going to fit sunscreen, hats, towels, snacks, water, an extra towel, all the good things. So I love that. So just heads up, with the towel, make sure you measure it, see what it's going to look like. And a beach towel is going to be pretty massive, but you can use extra fabric for the pocket. One quick pro tip on the pocket, you can actually just fold the sides so that it gives it a nice polished look. I ended up with my washcloth the first time not having quite a polished look, but it's really easy peasy, because when you fold the washcloth or fold the extra scrap in for the pocket, it looks a little bit more polished. Made me feel a little more sophisticated with my beach towel bag. Hand sewing this is not going to work, so you're definitely going to want to have a machine. I got mine from the library. I had no idea that they rented machines, or not even rented, they loaned. I just had to check it out. I walked out of the library with this massive machine. It was a very unique experience, but I'm super grateful that I had that. And so I think that could be a pro and a con, right? If you don't want to buy one, see if your library has one. If your library doesn't, in order to do this project, you probably are going to have a sewing machine, just because you don't want to sit there and have to sew quite a bit. That's a lot of stitching. The other thing that was kind of frustrating was I had to relearn the machine and relearn how to sew. When everything was working, I loved it. I enjoyed the project, but a little bit of a learning curve. Thankfully, I had my handbook. My mom was on standby. I could call her, which was great. And then I also had my best friend of Google, where I said, okay, look, I have this machine. What is going on with it? So that was really nice. So some of those things just to be mindful of as moving into this hobby. I would totally recommend making one at least once, because it's super fun. And then when you see the finished project, you feel very accomplished. And it's functional, so you can take it with you, have fun. Maybe it lasts a season and then you just move on. Maybe it lasts a couple seasons. I gotta tell you, I had the best time making this with my mom. I actually enjoyed that experience. So that could probably be why with this one, I'm like, where's my mom? Why is this not working? But I made one with my mom and it was so beautiful. I remember the process being easier. I remember the towel being more fluffy. And I remember just the whole ambiance was just fantastic. So it was really fun to make this again. I'm excited to use this at the beach. I can't wait to get out of the office. I definitely recommend trying it, having fun, and see if your library has one that you can borrow so you don't have to spend the money to get one. But all in all, I would say it was a pretty fun hobby.